right, thank you for staying with Daybreak on the State of the Nation. This morning we discussed the state of devolution, just a couple of days before the Devolution Conference happens in Homa Bay. What is your review of the status of devolution? Has it worked for the country? Has it not worked for the country? What needs to be tightened? What have we gotten right? Are the 47 counties even viable as is, or should they reduce? Should they increase? All that is a conversation we're having right now. We'd like to hear from you at Trevor Mbidi at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Daybreak. Let me introduce my guest. Starting from my guest in studio, His Excellency Francis Mwangangi, Deputy Governor for Machakos, is here. Thank you for making time. Also with me in studio is CPA Githinji Kiragu, the Chairman IGRTC, that is Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee. Thank you for making time. And joining us online is His Excellency Wycliffe Wangamati, former Governor of Bungoma. Thank you very much for making time. We're still waiting for Honorable Priscilla Nyokabi, former Woman Rep for Nyeri. As soon as she comes in, we'll drop her into this discussion. But let me start with you, Honorable Wangamati. Now that, as a former governor, what is your review of the state of devolution?
Yes, thank you very much, Trevor, for giving me this opportunity to be here again. As you all know, that the Devolution Conference is coming up in this month of August. And when you look at the state devolution now, what I can say, Trevor, is that where we are, we're in the third term of devolution. You know, the first term was 2013, 2017, then 2017, 2022. Now we're in the third term of devolution, 2022 to 2027. And I can say without any of contradiction, Trevor, that over the last 10, going to almost 15 years now, I think devolution is taking its shape. The governance framework is taking place. Of course, there are a number of challenges that we are facing in terms of devolution, but I can say without any contradiction that over the last 12 or 13 years, the governance framework is taking place. I think more Kenyans are coming out and understanding what devolution means. The legal framework is also taking place, and even the elected leaders are understanding their responsibilities and obligations as key players in this devolution space. So I think that is my view.
Wangamati, have we taken too long to understand this space the way you put it? Because it's been almost 14 years down the line. Wangamati? All right, we'll get to Governor Wangamati in just a bit. But His Excellency Mwangangi, what are your thoughts on this? What is your review of the state of devolution?
Despite the challenges, it has done wonderful things. I think today the major aim of devolution in Kenya was to bring closer not only leadership to the people, but also decision making, resources, and the proper utilization of those resources to benefit the public. In many spheres, it has. I think going forward, we need to look at not only successes, but what can hinder devolution in Kenya. And I also say that I do not know any country, despite my over 6 years of research on the same, that has developed, is developing without proper decentralization. In Kenya, the problem is the kind of leadership and decision making, especially at national level. Whenever the national government fails in one aspect or the other, especially on anything that touches on devolution, you will hear accusations here and there. There is embezzlement of resources, there is corruption, there is all this and that. But you ask yourself one question: whose mandate it is to ensure if Mwangangi is corrupt, that is stopped, that is followed up, and the money is recovered and returned to do the courses it was supposed to undertake. So, in my view, it has delivered, despite serious challenges.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk about the challenges in just a bit, but let me hear CPA Giragu's assessment of the state of devolution.
Thank you, Trevor. It is always good to look back to Article 174 in terms of the objectives of devolution. A lot of people say can simply assess devolution in terms of whether they have enjoyed improved service delivery. But actually, we had many objectives when we set out for devolution. And it is important to look to the historical background against which people clamored for devolution and how devolution took center stage in our new constitution. There were many parts of the country where people felt they were not exactly benefiting from modernization. There are people who felt marginalized. There were people who also felt sort of discriminated, and therefore we must see devolution from a wider perspective, whether it has helped us to move forward in terms of service delivery and also in terms of social justice, in terms also of the sense of empowerment of the people at the local level. And I would say on all those three counts, at least those three counts, devolution has actually delivered. I think the major issue is that it depends on what your historical experience is under the old system and under the new system. The session paper number 1 of 1965, which really drove Kenya's development after independence for a long time, and many would argue until we got the new constitutional dispensation, and identified parts of the country, some 25 districts out of 41, as the places where government really needs to invest heavily so that the country can move forward fast, which contributed to the sense of marginalization. Now, the people who lived in those 25 districts, okay, the people of Nairobi, the people of my home county of Embu, the people in places like Priscilla's, Honorable Priscilla's home, the people of Machakos, those who are among the 25 districts, the people of Kisumu, those ones never missed teachers under that education system. They had doctors, they had hospitals and health dispensaries under that system. So for them, there has not been any drama from devolution, because they never missed. But for those people who never had hospitals in parts of Kenya, which there are, for those people where children not go to school because there were no bursaries and so forth, for those people, devolution has brought magic. But also let me add that even among the areas where people had good services before, even there the elite is divided. The elite and the wananchi are divided because, again, the elite, even in some of those marginalized places, they never felt the absence of good things.
Yeah.
They could always take a vehicle to Nairobi or some other place to a hospital. But for the ordinary people, devolution has brought very profound change. Okay. And I would therefore say that devolution has delivered in very fundamental ways. It's just that, as Honorable Mwangangi has said, there are challenges, but those were not totally unexpected.
All right, we'll address the challenges shortly, plus the possible solutions to them. But joining us now is Honorable Priscilla Nyokabi. Thank you for making time. What is your assessment of the state of devolution 15 years down the line? Has it delivered or not?
I think mixed feeling, so a bit of a 50-50 there. One is because we needed it. In fact, it has been said, had we not devolved, that nobody knows how that Kenya would have proceeded. We were already on a wrong trajectory. The right trajectory was really devolution. So that if you look at the new Constitution of Kenya 2010, other than the three pillars of government, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary that we had always had, we really, really needed devolution. And it is true that our devolution is 47 counties. Historical explanation there with the traditional districts that we had. Chairman here just spoke about the 25, but the original districts were 44. We added 3, so that's the 47. And those are not even our districts. Those are the colonial districts, or some Mzungu districts, as it were. And so, you know, tremendous celebration for that devolution. Even for counties like the one that I come from, Nyeri, where it is true we had some level of services, there is still what you can show for what devolution has done in the last 13 years. But my biggest celebration is counties like Homa Bay, where I now serve with Governor Gladys Wanga. That's where I like the way he has said those that were already ahead, so maybe not as tremendous change, but those that really, really needed the change. I mean, just amazing to see the power and the value of devolution. Challenges abound, but the hope of the country is still in that devolution. And for me now, where I am, I wouldn't even want us to go to a debate of reducing the counties. That bus has left. Let's now go to the 47. Let us improve the 47. Let us find own source revenue. Let us find economic activity. Let us fight corruption in the counties. Let us just go with services, especially the devolved functions, and also meaningful devolution. If agriculture and health are devolved, let us meaningfully devolve the resources that then go into those counties, because every corner of Kenya matters. And I speak as somebody who's been to 42 of our 47 counties. In fact, I think about 44. I can only see 3 that I have not set foot in. Yeah. So for 43 counties, 44 counties, and I'm telling you, every county has a beauty. If you go to Machakos, there is something in Machakos which you hadn't seen in Nyeri. If you go to Nyeri, there is something you see that you didn't see in Embu. If you go to Embu, there is something to see you didn't see in Mombasa. You didn't see in Homa Bay. You didn't see in Kwale. I mean, we have a beautiful country. The 47 counties matter. We have a Senate for the equality of the counties. So my view now is 15 years of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, 13 years of devolution. We are still far from realizing the promises of that Constitution of Kenya and the full promise of devolution.
Is that where the problem really is, leveraging on competitive advantage that you just mentioned, that each and every county has something unique about itself, but have those opportunities been exploited properly?
Not yet, not sufficiently. And what we'd probably say is the 3 phases of devolution. So phase 1, the 2013 to 2017, was the institutionalization phase. And I like that the IGTRC is here. We had the TA, the Transition Authority. And it wasn't easy to transition from centralist government to now the devolved units. So the whole phase took that. I regret myself the devolution of functions, you know, in one sweep. Ideally, functions, or even the Constitution itself, envisaged a gradual, like what we're doing now with transfer of functions. So phase 1, establishment. Phase 2, 2017 to 2022, which was good for us because now we had 3 women governors. Remember, as we also had G0. In the first phase, no woman governor was elected. Now 3 women governors come in the second phase. And so that's the phase where infrastructure is essentially put together. Many counties have headquarters. The White House, I think, still stands out. You know, counties have a mark and that sort of stuff. Now, this third phase, 2022 to 2027. This is the investment and innovation phase. And I think counties have to invest, counties have to create, and counties have to move beyond wage bill. Because another thing that has arrested counties is wage bill. So we have to find what to do with those wage bills so that now the innovation, the creativity, the productivity, the trading. Kenya is still trading much lower than many other African countries. The EU market, for example, South Africa is at $55 billion, Kenya at $3 billion. And these are products, these are agricultural products. So all our 47 counties can find a product for trade. But then tabia mbaya must go down. Tabia mbaya of wage bill, absenteeism, tabia mbaya of corruption, tabia mbaya of politicking 24/7, so that now the real development can start. And we do have that potential. Every county, for me, has something that it can give the country.
Okay. Mwangangi, you had alluded to some of the challenges before we take a quick break. What do you believe are some of the greatest challenges facing devolution today?
Centralism is one of them. Secondly is, but before that, let me deal with the centralism. If today you call a meeting of a national government, top officials, it can go, a meeting, if it takes, for example, 2 hours, it might go even 2 hours without hearing anybody in the room talking about the two levels of government. They talk of one government in disregard of the Constitution. In fact, I remind a very able chairman here, a meeting that was chaired by the president. And I rose to tell him he is the only one who is talking about devolution, despite the fact that the meeting was discussing about devolution. None of the ministers, PSS, everybody were just articulating issues touching on the country, the national government. So that itself is a very serious challenge. Now, that centralism is such that it is also affecting decision-making as far as resource allocations are concerned. Today, look at the Ministry of Agriculture. Look at the ministries that are tackling devolved functions to counties, water, health, and compare their budgets with what goes to counties. You'll be surprised. Nowadays, even the head of state can be brought to open a bowl in your next village without knowing or understanding that water is fully devolved. So that centralism is a challenge. We saw the country being supplied with fake fertilizer, when we know that should have been a function of counties. So this centralism mentality is a challenge and a threat to devolution. Number two, disbursement of funds. We rarely hear the national government has gone without paying its workers. In counties, that is not news, because we can go for months, 2 months, 3 months, and sometimes even 4 without salaries. And you expect you go to the nearest clinic and find somebody who has not been paid for 3 months and expect quality service, expect to find drugs, expect to find the basics that counties can provide. So disbursement of funds. I would say non-adherence to the constitutional dictates. What I mean is it is the same constitution that tells us in every 100 shillings, at least 15 should go to counties. That has never been adhered to by any government, either this one or the previous ones. The chairman can attest here. We have attended so many meetings since the last election almost 3 years ago. And in every meeting we attended, we were promised the remaining functions will be devolved plus the resources. As that happened, it remains a story. Today, as I was coming here, I saw a letter inviting us to go and attend a function which is being presided over by a cabinet secretary. And the project in question is a devolved function. And you expect me to come? Really? No. Okay. So in this case, I think the attitude, the commitment to devolution is not, and I think all this we are discussing is just people wanting to make money. It is as simple as that. Because when you talk of the issue of fake fertilizer, and as a leading media house, you can tell us how that story went. It tells you it had the blessing of the topmost in the country. Because how else we would have seen it has started, it has gone this way, and it has ended this way, and any recovery meant. So I can say we have a monument challenges hindering devolution in Kenya. Yet, that is the way to go. One comment.
Yeah.
The third president of the Republic of Kenya, the late Emilio Mwai Kibaki, started devolution as soon as he came in, even before the enactment of 2010 Constitution. And that is how the economy expanded. That is how the economy has grown. I will dare say, the country might not be witnessing the actions and the policies of this Kenya Kwanza administration. But you wait. By the time we cross over to the next election, going forward, people will now start realizing. I've seen some people just thump, saying the economy has grown. Those are policies which were started way long time ago. That is what we are witnessing now. Their actions will come.
Yeah.
And I wonder, why would the national government want to encroach on what is devolved? Okay. Yet they have enormous tasks to fix education, to fix security, to ensure there is national cohesion. Yet all that is in limbo. They are chasing what is devolved.
Okay. I have to take a quick break. When we come back, we're now talking about the issues facing devolution and the challenges, plus the solutions as well. We'd like to also hear from you, Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. We'll see you in just a moment.